Hello and welcome back to Trigger Smart. Today it is extremely windy. I'm not sure if you can really tell out here, but I figured it's starting to get nicer weather again, so we need to start getting back into some firearms content. I don't typically do much content during the winter, but today I'm going to do my favorite drill. I still do this drill from time to time, but especially people who are new, I have them start with this drill and basically master it. And by the time they get done being able to do this drill the way that I explained to you, then they have basically mastered their grip, their aim, their steadiness, their follow through, and also their distance. So let's go and see what this is all about. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get near this target over here, and on the very opposite end, which is about 70 yards, I'm gonna start over here at 10 yards. That's about the first safe distance you can shoot from. I'm gonna shoot at 10 yards, and I'm gonna keep taking a step back, all the way back till I hit as far as I can go here on this range. If I miss, I have to keep shooting at the spot that I missed at, but as long as I keep making the hits, I can keep moving back further away. So I'm gonna start here at 10, load and make ready, make sure the optic is set, make sure everyone's clear, make sure you have eyes and ears, and this is on your count. Okay, that's a hit. Obviously still pointing down range safely. I'm gonna take one big step back, and now I'm gonna shoot again. Okay, and I'm gonna keep repeating this all the way back as far as I can go. Go back one more. And you can try different stances. You can try isosceles, you can try fighter stance, whatever you want to do. But if you're more advanced, you can start doing one-handed as you go back as well. Now, if I were to miss, so we'll say here, if I fire and I miss, I continue in this spot until I hit it. I can't go back any further until I hit this spot. And this is great for kids because it really makes them focus on their technique and their form. I'm just gonna keep working through this. And you get to the point where after a while, no matter what the distance is, it's pretty easy. And it's pretty good too, because when you're shooting like this, it's forcing you to also take into account holdovers. So the further you get back, the higher you have to aim on your target. Usually within like that 50 yards, it's not too bad. But as we get further and further back towards like 70, 100 plus, typically you don't wanna shoot that with a pistol, but for practice, you're gonna have to aim higher on the target because the bullet's gonna drop. And as you get further back, focus more. So I want to make sure that I have a good grip. So I want to make sure I'm nice and high on the gun, not over the slide. My other hand's sandwiched in. I have a nice grip on the bottom. I'm controlling recoil. I want to make sure, obviously, that I'm sighted in if I have a red dot. And in this case, as you come up, take the slack out of your trigger, and then you're going to do a nice smooth pull. And keep going. Just do that all the way back. So we'll see how far we can go. I just got done, empty, gonna do a reload, continue back. I am probably around about 45 or 50 yards. Now, most people, in all fairness, this would have maxed them out already with a pistol, which is completely fine. Anything past like 20, 25 yards, if you're shooting past that, you're doing really good. Most people within 20 to 25 yards struggle a little bit, right, in that range. But if you can, keep pushing it. It's just gonna make you that much better. And if you miss, just shoot again. So now we're getting back to that 60, 55, 60 range, somewhere in there. Gonna keep going. Keep your good fundamentals. Keep everything the exact same way you would when you're shooting up close. The only difference is if you're shooting with a dot, you might have to hold a little bit higher as you get back, but you should know your weapon enough that you know when you have to start doing holdovers and stuff. Right now, I'm basically aiming for the head. And I missed, so I'm gonna shoot again here. That's a hit. It's a hit. All right, we'll see how far we can go. See if the camera's still following me here. That's a miss. Miss. Hit. But that's it. You start closer to the target. You shoot all the way back to the furthest point you can safely shoot to. And then also, any spots where you miss, you keep shooting from that spot till you can hit it. And if you get to the point, like my last 2 shots, I missed there. And this is probably, it's about 65 yards-ish where I ended. I've shot out to about 85, 90, depending on if I have a dot. If I'm using iron sights, I'm in that like 70, 75 range, somewhere in there if I'm lucky. But this is really easy to do. It only requires 1 target. It does require the space, but in most places, your pistol bay is probably more than adequate. They're usually at least 25 yards. So start at 10, take a step back, shoot, and just keep doing it all the way through. And make sure you have an extra mag so you can swap mags. That's good practice as well. This is a great drill. And like I said, if I could only do 1 drill, this would be it. The only modification I would do is I would have 2 targets and I would alternate left and right. So you would start at 10, shoot left, right, bing, bing, take your step back, left, right, bing, bing, take a step back, right, left, bing, bing, right? You can do doubles, double up, double up. So you're working transitions in addition to working further back. And you have to have basically damn near perfect grip, perfect sight alignment, sight picture, breathing control, all that stuff has to be there or you're not gonna make these further shots. Remember, you wanna get the lead off of you. I use D-lead wipes. No, this is not a paid advertisement, but it's very important, especially for women, if they're pregnant and that kind of stuff, or they're trying to be pregnant. And then a lot of you have much higher lead levels in your blood than you realize. So something as simple as this, doing some D-lead wipes, could help with a lot of it. And then when you get home, you want to get rid of these clothes, throw them in the washer. What I wanted to do as I'm heading home here, just got done cleaning up and everything, is I just want to talk really quick about why you should train. It would seem obvious. It's your Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. You want to have it for self-defense, recreation, hunting. There's a huge variety of different things that you would actually want it for. If you cannot get to a professional, if you absolutely cannot, then the next best thing would be training at home. And if you have property that you can shoot on, then obviously that's a good option as long as you're safe. But if you don't have that option, even if you're in an apartment or something, you can get something like the Mantis Titan X or something similar that is a laser trainer that has a lot of similarities to shooting a real pistol. The biggest thing you're going to be missing, obviously, is recoil. But for example, like with the Mantis Titan X, for about $200, you can shoot the gun. It has a resetting trigger, which that's one thing you miss in a lot of the trainers. It also has magazines that you can drop and reload back in. And they're about the same weight as if it was a fully loaded magazine. And then you can shoot a laser out of it. And I can tell you from people that I've worked with, including one of my brothers, he would shoot the ground at about 6 to 10 feet. So he'd be aiming at the head or the body of a target, human-sized target, and he would hit the ground. So I gave him a laser trainer to work with for roughly about 2 weeks. He would sit in the evenings while he watched TV and he would shoot the laser trainer at a target on the wall, obviously safely. And what happened is he came back the next time. We actually went to an indoor range the next time. And at 10 yards, he was at least staying within the torso. And then at 3 to 5 yards, he was able to keep it basically within like a 6 to 8 inch circle. So to me, that's a huge improvement. And it's because he got to practice all of his basics, his grip, his trigger control, his sight alignment, sight picture, his follow through, his trigger resets to the next shot, all that stuff he could practice. And now he is a significantly better shooter because of it. And there are options as well for like Ace VR. There's Ace XR, and I use it on the MetaQuest. And I have the exact same pistol that I use for my everyday carry. It's literally an identical model. It's like a 3D printed model of my P365X macro. And I can take that and I can put it into Ace and I can train shooting steel and doing a bunch of different courses. They have hundreds of courses. And I can tell you definitively that shooting that in Ace XR has drastically improved my transitions between targets, because I was wanting to start doing like steel shooting competitions and stuff because I have a lot of friends that do it. And it made a drastic difference. So I highly recommend everyone do as much training in different ways that you can. But bare minimum, get out at least once a month and go shoot. And if you can't get out and go shoot, then you should be shooting weekly with some kind of laser trainer. So as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this around. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you like the drill, have you ever done this drill before? And actually, even better, try the drill if you haven't, and then come back and let me know how it went. And I'll see you in the next one.